Peace. Yo, peace to the divine infinite consciousness and peace to the divine infinite self in all realms and realities. Yo, we're finna build about how the government and the world today is a narcissistic entity, especially the government, all right? The type of relationship that you have with the government, it's a codependent one, you know what I mean? You have basically given up your birthright to be able to raise food for yourself and take care and farm your own land, and you gave that up to go work in the system or in the matrix or in the city computer chip, and this shit's gonna be destroyed. All right, so but certain things that you gave up, you gave it up for the convenience of dealing with this this narcissistic entity. And so what I mean by that is, you were just like, yo, man, I don't feel like growing my food. I just want to go to the store all the time. I don't feel like waiting and none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? And so you just said, fuck it. I'm just gonna do it this way and move into the city. I'm stacked up with people in it. All right. So the city is different in this cycle than it was the previous cycle, or what we would call the old world. All right. And the old world was right before the flood, and also right before New Madrid earthquakes that went down. That was fucking huge, right? So I'm just peeping out my scene because I'm waiting on the born or the bus, right? So anyway, so basically, what you gave up, that you gave it up to this narcissistic entity who wanted to use that against you, your codependency and needing their attention and needing that attention to be able to validate your weakness or whatever, who you are. Because you don't know who you are. You kind of forgot also dealing with the entity. And even if you wasn't knowing who you was dealing with the narc entity, you still didn't know and understand exactly who you truly are as being a spiritual being in an avatar, or getting an experience where you can feel the pain, the emotions, and all these different things in this world while it's crumbling. It's not like you're living in, paradise and this shit, and you're just like, what does this fruit taste like? Rather sweet. Okay, so it's not like that, nigga. It's like you got all kind of shit. So you gotta have your multi-dimensional perception, sensory on point and keen. And the way of doing this, especially as a man, because you're up there, you could be up there, which is how everybody look at you, because you're dangerous to this board once you wake up. You know what I'm saying? And this is why they trap you with the meat, the porn, and all that shit, because the meat is gonna give you undigested animal proteins that get to your body that grow parasites and all that shit, and eat through your walls, and dealing with the tapeworm, the swine, it gets into your walls and all of that, and it crawls up into your brain and your nervous system and plant different thoughts in your brain and shit, man. When you succumb to that shit, you will fall victim to the weakness and lower part of yourself or your being, and this is what they hoping that you do. So in this iron age, that the real you won't stand up and do what you're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are scared for their family that's like celebrities and shit, you know what I'm saying, that's black, that went into the game and signed the contract, and they're like, oh shit, it's fucked up, I signed this shit. It's the new age slave trade type shit. Because right before the New Madrid earthquake in 1811 that really shook up all this shit, niggas was kind of, niggas was cool. They was running, everybody was kind of cool a little bit, but it was still fucked up, slavery and shit was still going on, but niggas was able to still move around a little differently. It's as times change, things change, events change and shit. But for the last 400 years, which is the last two cycles of the cataclysmic plasmic event that happened and occurs every so often, depending on the thought pattern of the people who's living on Earth at that time, and if it's and what time it is, if it's the Iron Age, Silver Age, or the Bronze Age, or the Golden Age. Right now, this is the Bronze. This is the Iron Age and the Bronze, coming out of the Bronze. You know what I'm saying? The Bronze will be looked at as the Victorian Age era and all that shit, but that shit was destroyed. Motherfuckers got on different thoughts. So I went all the way over there to say this. Basically, during that time, niggas also were slaves. You know what I'm saying? But right before that, it was like, we taught them we taught the people, the new arrivals, how to, eat, live, survive in the rural areas and also in the city. We had money, we had a constitution, all this shit was lined up. And different kind of constitution too, So anyways, basically, shit changes. You know, you began to be subject to their narcissistic rule once they got you into their whole little grasp. Like, okay, cool, I know who you, this dude, he's sweet, I'm gonna get his ass now, I'm gonna turn it around on him, and boom, they formed a little secret clique that's kind of like your clique, and then they use that shit against you, so they kept the secret. That's how, man, I'm telling you, it's crazy. So you fall in love hoping that these mothers are change up one day, but it's like, damn, you're like having the, what they call is, Stockholm syndrome, and black people got that shit heavy and hard. And then, you know, also in just regular relationships, when you love motherfuckers that abuse you and shit like that, you know what I mean? So basically, and that's what mugs is doing. And so they keep giving you little things, you know, haven't really given you shit. You just giving so much love, they have to give that much love. So you just like, you don't realize you gotta leave this motherfucker alone. And if you leave him alone and then you want him to come back, they come back, they're gonna do something different. It's a love bombing stage, but they're gonna fuck you over again. And they do this shit over and over again. You just gotta break up with the motherfucker. Let this fuck go, fuck all these people that they doing. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody else gotta go through the same lesson. Most I put them here so you can master your lower self. You know what I'm saying? The weakness of yourself and the desires of yourself, especially in the Iron Age. So yeah. Alright, so this is a narcissistic entity. It's caused, it gets mad when you do narcissistic abuse to the mug, you know what I'm saying? If you cause silent treatments or whatever, because they'll give you a silent treatment, like you won't hear back from the government for a grip, your ass homeless, ain't got no food, this, that, and the third, the motherfuckers like, yeah, let me see this nigga survive and shit though. You know what I mean? They do shit like that, man, you know, and then get mad when you do survive in this motherfucker. You know, it's narcissistic, man, you know? So the way you have to do that is go ahead and form your cliques, get your land as best as you can, and start growing your own food if you can. A lot of us ain't got the money to start. Shit, if you got the money to start. What the fuck are you doing here? Shit finna freeze over. It's gonna be electromagnetic pulse that's gonna go out here that they gonna test, and then it's gonna be the real one from the Most High. And that's when we come together, we wake up our homie, the big titan, swipe all this shit up. But until then, nigga, you gotta get to your rural areas and shit. Motherfuckers is trying to hunt your ass and shit. Why you think you don't feel comfortable when you be walking? I ain't gonna say I don't feel comfortable with white folks walking behind me, but man, them motherfuckers, they will walk behind your ass like they like, damn, am I being chased and shit? But that's why I think they like coming in last in the motherfucking race and shit. They be saying niggas just be booking like, I'm chasing this nigga, this nigga's gone. But yeah, man, so it's a narcissistic government, man. You gotta get the fuck away from it if you can. You know, like paperwork, all that shit. If you can, and physical. Because they just mapping this shit up to your straw man. Look up what the straw man is, a fictional character that you can use to represent you. The physical character, but they find ways to get the nigga who's claiming Negro, black, or colored and putting this nigga in a federal box or a state box. You know, we don't even know how to get our apostles, which is our prophets and shit. Money, it's all about the money, man. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to stay in their game, play the game, they're running the game right now. So they gonna switch the rules up every time. So fuck it, you gotta create a new game. And be like, yeah, I know you like this game. My game funny. Them motherfuckers will put that game down like, man, shit. Can I play? You know, they'll do some shit like that, B. You know, so, with that being said, I like to say peace. I love y'all. And if you haven't already, you better like and comment if you want to. But